Week 31. Day 211, on a simple adherence hack. Photograph all meals or snacks prior to eating. Subjects who use food diaries lose 3 times as much weight as those who don't. Tim Ferriss. Photographing all that you eat will make you more aware of what you put in your mouth. It will make you pause and think before you cheat because there will be a clear consequence of it. A picture that proves beyond a reasonable doubt that you didn't stick to your resolutions. Such a simple hack can provide tremendous benefits or even be the single thing that will finally make you stick to your diet in the long term. I can attest to the benefits of this approach. When I was on a diet, I used to track my food intake to make sure that I hit my nutritional targets for the day. If I ate something, it had to be noted in the spreadsheet. This made it more difficult to cheat because I could immediately see when and how much I was exceeding my planned caloric intake for the day. This trick doesn't just apply to dieting. You can also use it successfully for other goals. For example, if you want to become an early riser, take a picture of your clock the moment you get out of bed. If you want to become more fit, record a video of your every workout or jot down the exercises you did, the amount of weight that you lifted, the number of reps, sets, and the duration of your session. If you want to save more money, photograph any purchase that isn't a necessity. Day 212, on learning from your illness. When you become ill, regard your illness as your teacher, not as something to be hated. George Ivanovich Gurdjieff. Nothing in life is more important than health. But we fail to understand this fact until we become ill and lose what we've been taking for granted for so long. At first, you deny it. Then you start wondering, why me? Then you start hating it, and the more that negative emotions breed inside you, the more difficult it is to battle against the illness. Many illnesses are preventable, or at least you can greatly reduce your risk for them by adopting healthy habits. Other illnesses can fall upon anyone, making your life miserable without it being your fault. In both cases, setting aside the obvious fact that it would be better not to have it at all, an illness can serve as a teacher. In fact, regarding your illness as a mentor is the only way in which you can effectively cope with it. Denial, hate, regret, or frustration ultimately only work against you. If you're currently dealing with an illness, look at it as an opportunity to review your life, your lifestyle choices, and your priorities. Take advantage of the fact that now you understand on a visceral level how important health is and make those healthy changes you've been postponing for so long. Finally, think of the illness as a challenge to overcome, and if it's chronic and incurable, seek examples from people who live their lives to the fullest despite not being in the best health or physical condition. Nick Vujicic, a motivational speaker who was born without all 4 limbs. Sean Swarner, the first 2-time cancer survivor to climb the 7 highest peaks of the 7 continents. Randy Pausch, a professor given 3 months to life who gave an inspiring lecture entitled The Last Lecture, which went on to become a global phenomenon. Or Jessica Cox, the first pilot without arms. Day 213, on sudden trials. The art of life is more like the wrestler's art than the dancer's, in respect of this, that it should stand ready and firm to meet onsets which are sudden and unexpected. Marcus Aurelius. Preparing yourself for possible temptations and avoiding situations in which you're likely to encounter them is a solid strategy, but it won't eliminate one of the most formidable enemies, sudden and unexpected trials. During my Krav Maga workouts, an Israeli self-defense system, my coach often reminds me that during an attack in the street, I'll be unlikely to be prepared for it. I may be carrying shopping bags, coming home after a tiring workout, feeling sick, or have my mind so occupied that I won't notice the threat until it's too late. Consequently, during our workouts, we sometimes imitate such situations so that I can be better prepared during an unexpected attack. Self-discipline is similar to self-defense in this regard. It's one thing to remain self-disciplined when you're mentally prepared or perform a self-defense technique during training, and a completely different thing to face temptations or an enemy when they're most likely to emerge, when you're tired, angry, sick, heartbroken, or depressed. As hard as it is, try to pay even more attention to your self-control when you aren't at your best. It's during those testing times that you can learn the most about your weaknesses, as well as your hidden strengths. To better prepare yourself to handle such negative, unpredictable circumstances, periodically test your character while you're under the weather. For example, while writing these words, I'm pushing myself to complete 2 days' worth of work even though I've been having low spirits the past few days. Even though it's hard, I know that it will serve me well the next time I'll have to deal with a different sudden, unexpected trial. Day 214, on fearing the future. The only thing we know about the future is that it is going to be different. Peter Drucker. A quick thought-provoking question for today. If you know for a fact that the future will be different, then what's the point of fearing it? When people fear that they will fail or succeed, fear of success is a real thing. Success can change your life in many ways, and not always in the ways you expected, which makes it scary. They're essentially fearing that their lives will be different, but it's a fact anyway. No matter what you do, your life will be different and you'll have to deal with the aftermath of your life changing, no matter if you pursue your goals or not. If that's the case, both fears are unfounded because a change is guaranteed anyway. And not only that, not taking action because you're afraid of the future is a worse choice, because when you pursue your goals, at least you have a certain amount of control over how your future will be different. If you let fear overpower you, your future will still be different, but you won't be able to steer it or know, with at least some accuracy, how it's going to change. For example, if you change your nutritional habits and start exercising more, you can predict with some accuracy that your health will most likely improve, or at least not get worse. Can you predict what kind of health deterioration you will go through if you don't make any changes? What's scarier, the prospect that you'll become a different person through your new positive habits, or the prospect of not knowing if, and if so, what, disease, a health disorder, or another unpleasant thing will hit you? Day 215, on self-determination. The most successful people, the evidence shows, often aren't directly pursuing conventional notions of success. They're working hard and persisting through difficulties because of their internal desire to control their lives, learn about their world, and accomplish something that endures. Daniel Pink. Take a cue from the most successful people and figure out how to link your goals with the desire to control your life, learn about the world or accomplish something that endures. How can your desire to build a business play into your need for autonomy, learning, or contribution? Easy. A business will give you financial freedom and let you control your life to the fullest extent. Growing your business will help you discover the parts of you that you've never known existed. And finally, building a successful business will leave a mark on the world, even if it's a small one. It's still a big accomplishment to build an organization of any kind. What about dieting? How can you link something as mundane as caring for your body to such high desires? It isn't that hard, either. Only a healthy person can control their life. A sickness can quickly remind you who's the boss. Self-discovery? Go on a diet, explore how you feel when temptations arise, and you'll get to know a lot about yourself. Accomplish something that endures? Change your body permanently and you'll not only build something that hopefully lasts for a long time, but also discover how powerful a physical change can be for your mental state. Now, think of your own goals and go through the same thought process, which will increase their significance to you and boost your determination. Day 216, on accounting for flexibility in your plans. Another drawback of daily plans is that they lack flexibility. They deprive the person of the chance to make choices along the way, so the person feels locked into a rigid and grinding sequence of tasks. Life rarely goes exactly according to plan, and so the daily plans can be demoralizing as soon as you fall off schedule. With a monthly plan, you can make adjustments. If a delay arises one day, your plan is still intact. Roy Baumeister. I'm a fan of daily routines, writing a specific number of words, sticking to the same number of consumed calories, or learning the same number of words in a foreign language every day. However, at the same time, having experienced on more than a few occasions that life often doesn't go exactly according to the plan and disruptions are bound to happen, I account for some flexibility in my plan. This way, when I mess up one day, it doesn't have to affect my entire progress. For example, whenever I'm tweaking my caloric intake, I try to focus more on what happens during an entire week or month than any specific day. This way, if I mess it up one day by eating too little or too much, it doesn't matter because I can make up for it the next day or a week later. Granted, it carries the risk of making regular exceptions and setting a precedent, so it's important to always plan exactly when you're going to adjust for a day of variance. Recently I set for myself a goal to write 10 daily entries for this book for 10 days so that after the end of this sprint, I will have written entries for 100 days, or almost 30% of the book. If I were to only count it as successful if I stuck to writing 10 entries every day, without allowing myself any kind of flexibility, I'd have failed on the 8th day, which I spent outdoors. However, knowing that such a disruption would happen, I wrote 14 entries the day before my trip and 6 in the early morning before my departure. Thanks to accounting for flexibility, I avoided the demoralizing effect of dropping the ball, and after 10 days, I had also completed my goal of writing 100 entries in total. When setting new routines and goals, allow yourself some flexibility, too. If you have a daily quota, don't immediately count it as a failure if you don't perform it for one day. Work a little more for the next several days and instead of falling off the bandwagon, you'll still achieve your original goal. Day 217, on things not being up to us. Some things are in our control and others not. Epictetus. Living according to the most fundamental principle of Roman Stoicism, acknowledging that some things are up to us and others aren't, and it's of no use to worry or complain about the latter, is an excellent way to strengthen your self-control. At the moment I'm writing this, I'm in the process of launching a new book. Things went bad from the start. I had to wait over 36 hours before my book was published, something that normally takes a few hours. This in itself delayed my entire launch schedule. Then it turned out that because of another error, some early reviewers couldn't post their review. Then I realized I forgot to upload my audiobook, which pushed back its release date. In the meantime, I had other fires to put out related to other aspects of the business. I won't lie, I was frustrated. However, in the end it all proved to be a valuable exercise in self-control. By trying not to get overly frustrated or worry too much about something that I couldn't control, I became slightly better at handling such situations, which are bound to repeat in the future. Whenever you're going through hardships that are beyond your control, look at them as an exercise in reining in your emotions. There's nothing you can do to change the situation, so at least you can learn something from it.